Diary of an OAD, that's me, yeah. The diary of an OAD, you wanna see? Diary of an OAD, that's who I be. I wanna show you what I go through on a daily. Diary of an OAD, that's me, yeah. The diary of an OAD, you wanna see? Diary of an OAD, that's who I be. I wanna show you what I go through on a daily. Hey, having a bit of a difficult day today. I've felt low in mood for quite a few days now. I don't know whether it's the lack of work, the weather, combination of all of those. I was really pepped up last week. I felt so irritable, and I normally only feel like this at one particular time in the month. You know what I'm referring to, but my patience levels have gone. So I've then gone through, because today's a Saturday and my son's at home all day, and then I'm finding myself snapping at my son. But now I don't know whether it's actually because he's being a little bit too much, or whether I'm just being harsh, and that in itself is just messing. It's just messing with my head, because I try my best. I try so hard as a mum to be conscious of how my thoughts and my words and my actions affect my son. And those of you that know my son, or know my son well, know that he is a lot of work, and bless him, I love him to bits, but I've actually had to come out in the car to have a cup of tea and just some airspace from him. Not because I don't want to be with him, but because I'm already of low mood and my patience levels are already down. Things that he would do normally are causing me more anxiety, and then I'm going through that battle. Is it my son? Is he just being so extra and so difficult that that's why I'm feeling this way? Or am I so zoned out and, I don't know, like so CBA mode and depressed and low of mood and snappy and irritable that he's feeling the brunt of it? And it's so difficult. Mental health and parenting itself is very difficult, so jarring. And those of you that are like full-time parents will know that it is so jarring. It's a lot, because you will have your own issues and you will have things that are happening in your personal life, but you have to keep it together to be the best mom or dad that you can be. So that in itself is a challenge. But when you have mental health, when you barely have the capacity to emotionally deal with the things that affect you as a person, and then you have to try and be and then you have to try and be a good parent. Oh my God, it's so hard. It's so hard. And there's probably so many parents out there that battle with this on a daily basis. But who can they talk to? Because the minute you start talking about not feeling like you have the capacity to be the best parent, then you start worrying that certain agencies mention your names might start judging your ability. Now, I feel quite safe. I know, I am very confident that the services that work around, like, so my son's schooling and the doctor and anybody in an official capacity that work around me and my son, know that I put my son's needs first as often as I possibly can, and that I do everything that I can to be the best parent ever. But even the best parents ever, particularly if they suffer with mental health issues, sometimes just need that alone time. And I think when I think about my journey with anxiety and OCD and depression, I was only diagnosed after I had my son, and I'm not saying that he caused it, and I'm not saying that this is just postnatal depression that I experienced. What I'm saying is that when you are an individual with mental health, it's a lot easier to just shut yourself off and hide and zone out. And like, literally last weekend, I just spent so much time in bed just watching different things on TV, not worrying about much, because my son was with his dad, so I didn't have to try and put on a brave face for him. But I'm really finding this weekend difficult. I just haven't got the capacity. I just want to zone out. I just want to switch off, but can't, because I got a 7-year-old that isn't in the right frame of mind right now to let me switch off. And this is, I've got to count myself lucky. I've got to count every blessing that I can, and I advise others out there to try and do that. I have to be grateful that I moved back to my parents' house. And one of the reasons I moved back to my parents' house, other than wanting to save money so that I could work less and get a better work-life balance, which we can talk about in another video, it was to get support for my son. So if I do have days like this, then he's got other people to bounce off. So luckily, I've said to Grandad, I just need 5 minutes. I just need to go and sit in my car and just zone out for a little bit, so I know that Grandad's watching him. My son doesn't have to see me get to this stage, because unfortunately he has, and he's normally really good. If he sees that Mummy gets to this stage, and then we have the conversation, and I can just say Mummy's not feeling very well, which isn't a lie, and he deals really well with my panic attacks. But I don't want him to see me like this. I don't want him. I don't want my 7-year-old son to see his mum like this. So, I'm just gonna sit in the car and get some of this emotion out my system, drink a cup of tea, and then I've messaged my sister. And oh, God bless my sister. God, bless my sister. I don't even think she realizes how much of a saint she is when I'm like this, because I'll just phone her and I'll say that we're having a bit of a difficult day and my son's been very testing, or I'm very low in mood. I don't even have to go that far and explain. All I have to say is, are you at home? Because I think I have to bring Luam over later. And she's just so welcoming. Like she can sense exactly what it is that I need from her. And it's having people like that may not fully understand your mental health, but fully support you in every way, and that you need them to support you in. And again, this is a theme that will run through a lot of my videos. When supporting those with mental health issues, if you personally don't have mental health issues, and even if you do have mental health issues, everybody's mental health works differently. So ultimately, you have to ensure that you have a way of finding out what it is they need from you, what is supportive for them. Some just need a good cry. Some just need to be present and have others around them and just do things like watch TV without having to talk. Some need someone to make them laugh and joke. So there's different needs, and there's different things that can help someone come out of that bubble, that frustration bubble. And when you have someone that, and the only way you have that someone is if you communicate that to that person. They can't just guess. So when you are that comfortable with someone that they understand what it is that you need, and they've seen you articulate that so many times that they are just there without fail, it's a blessing. Whew. Once again, thank you for listening. I really do hope that the videos help, and those of you that are struggling with mental health and parenting at the same time, it is a big struggle, and it's difficult. I know that, but there are people out there that can help, and if you get a good support system in place, then ultimately you can try and find a happy medium between what's right for you as an individual who has a mental health condition and what's right for your child. And the more and more I grow and adapt and understand my mental health conditions, the more and more I work towards trying my very best to not let those conditions have too much of a drastic effect on my son, because he's already at risk of having a mental health condition because his mom has one. Other people in the family have mental health conditions, whether they've been diagnosed or not. So that's one. And then there's environmental factors. And if he's growing up in an environment where a depressive state or high anxiety is on the list of things that he has to deal with on a daily basis, then that could cause him, or that could increase the risk and the likelihood of him developing a mental health condition. And I worry about that. Welcome, there's my anxiety again, worrying about everything, but I worry about that a lot. And I say to people that the whole reason that I started my journey to get the support that I needed was because I know how detrimental a parent's mental health can be to their child or children. And I will try and do everything possible to ensure that my mental health, I significantly reduce the possible effects of my mental health on him. The sad thing about it is I already see little traits of anxiety in him, and he's 7 and he worries about a lot, and I try my very best to snap him out of that and get him to think about the here and now, and let's not worry about that in the future, let's just enjoy every moment now. But my hope is that if he is diagnosed with a mental health condition at some point in his life, that the conversation we can have and the learning that we can do together can hopefully put him in a position that he's able to productively deal with his mental health condition in a way that doesn't affect his adult relationships, and that hopefully if he then chooses to go on and have kids, that there is less of a risk of them then developing a mental health condition. And it's just trying to stop that circle. It's so difficult, but there is a circle. It's not guaranteed that just because you have anxiety as a parent that your child is going to have it. But if your anxiety, your behaviors, the environment your child grows up in is one where you are constantly worrying and encouraging them to worry about things that you don't need to worry about, then there's a likelihood that they are going to develop anxiety. I can give you loads of examples of that. My son's very boisterous and likes to climb on things, and my parents will get very, not agitated, but they get very scared that, oh, what if you fall off? And what I'm trying to encourage them to do is just obviously let him know what the consequences are and the risks are, but allow him to carry on with the behaviour, because I don't want him to not do things because he's worried. This is another theme that will come out, and that link between parenting and mental health and a child developing a mental health condition. We'll talk more about it, but it's so difficult to try and protect your children from things, particularly when they're things that you sometimes have little control over. Anyway, I'm gonna go there. Thank you once again for listening. I do hope that I've helped somebody out there. As I said, if the issues in this video have rung true with somebody out there watching, then remember there are other external agencies that you can contact to get support and help. One of those agencies is Mind Our Mentalities. Anything we can do to help you, we will do our best to help you. Take care. Bye-bye.
This is the diary of an OAD. That's me, yeah, the diary of an OAD. You wanna see? Diary of an OAD. That's who I be. I wanna show you what I go through on a daily. Diary of an OAD. That's me, yeah, the diary of an OAD. You wanna see? Diary of an OAD. That's who I be. I wanna show you what I go through on a daily.